Here is a detailed script, approximately 2,500-2,800 words, you can use for a YouTube video review of the 2025 APC Arslon for your channel car operation. You can adapt, cut or expand segments as needed when recording. Hello and welcome back to Car Operation. Today we bring you an in-depth review of one of the most advanced armored personnel carriers to emerge in recent years, the 2025 APC Arslon. We'll be going deep into every facet: its exterior styling and protection, interior layout and systems, powertrain, suspension and mobility, electronics and systems, real-world performance, and even a look at likely pricing and positioning. So buckle up, this is going to be a long ride. When the Arslon was first revealed at IDEX and in defense industry media, it drew attention as a next-generation APC built to NATO standards. The version most publicized is the 8x8 configuration, though a smaller 6x6 variant also exists. In this review, I'll generally refer to the 8x8 Arslon as the Arslon, but when applicable I'll mention differences in the 6x6 version. Let's start with how it looks and what it's built to withstand. From the outside, the Arslon has imposing proportions. The 8x8 version spans roughly 8.84 meters in length, with a width in excess of 3.3 meters, and stands tall, with its turret included, at over 3 meters high. The frontal profile is angled, with sloped armor surfaces and a robust, reinforced hull front. The roofline is relatively flat, but with multiple hatches, ventilation grills, and vision blocks integrated. The power pack is mounted on the right side in the forward section, with ventilation grills on the side and top for cooling. The approach and departure angles are claimed at about 27 degrees and 30 degrees respectively, giving it decent capability over uneven terrain. Also, the vehicle can climb a 30 degrees ramp, traverse slopes of 20 degrees, cross ditches 0.5 meters wide, scale vertical obstacles of 0.3 meters, and ford water up to 1.5 meters. Armor protection is one of Arslon's headline features. The front of the vehicle is rated to meet STANAG 4569 Level 6, which implies resistance against 30 mm APF-SDS rounds at 500 meters. The sides and rear are rated at Level 4 protection against 14.5 mm AP rounds at 200 meters. The underbelly and wheel blast protection is rated Level 4A, 4B, meaning it can survive blasts equivalent to 10 kilograms of TNT under the wheels or hull. Add-on kits can further enhance protection to Level 5. There is good evidence that Uzbekistan is pushing for import substitution and emphasizing NATO compliance, not just relying on Soviet-era standards. Weaponry is also modern. The turret is an unmanned design, likely the Escribano Guardian 30 system, Spanish, or derivative thereof, armed with a 30 mm cannon, such as the 2A42 or Bushmaster 2, and a coaxial 7.62 mm machine gun. The turret includes 6 smoke grenade launcher tubes on each side, front and left, giving 12 in total. The fire control system is integrated with target identification, laser warning detection, gunshot detection, and battlefield management link capabilities. While the Arslon exhibited lacked an independent panoramic optronic commander sight in the display version, future variants may incorporate that or missile armaments. In the 6x6 variant, a manned turret option with a Mk-44 Bushmaster is possible. All told, from the exterior standpoint, the Arslon mixes strong protection, modern armament, and off-road mobility features. Now let's talk about the interior, crew layout, ergonomics, and systems inside. Internally, the Arslon accommodates a crew of 3: commander, driver, and gunner. The infantry compartment in the rear is intended for 6 to 8 passengers. Entry and exit are via a hydraulically operated rear ramp. That ramp includes a side hinge door as a redundancy if the ramp cannot be used. There is also a large top hatch at the rear so troops can ride with heads out if necessary. Along each side of the vehicle are camera pods and sensor modules to provide 360 degrees situational awareness. The driver and commander each have separate hatches up front. Visibility is supplemented by cameras and optronic sensors. The turret is unmanned, so the gunner sits under it inside the hull, controlling it via remote systems. The internal layout must balance protection, armored walls, spall liners with comfort and functionality, seating, storage, wiring, climate control. While detailed interior photos are limited, the use of modern wiring harnesses, modular mounting rails, and digital systems is expected. In terms of habitability, one would expect air conditioning or climate control, NBC overpressure protection, internal communications and intercom systems, crew displays, navigation aids, and the interface to the battlefield management system. Given the modern orientation of the design, one would also expect interior cabling suited for digital data, threats warning systems, and redundancy. The troop compartment would include seating with seat belts or harnesses, and possibly modular attachments for gear, weapons, and supplies. Now to the heart of the machine, the engine, drivetrain, mobility, and suspension. The most detailed published specifications place the 8x8 Arslon's powertrain as a 600 horsepower diesel engine coupled to an Allison 4700 SP automatic transmission. With that setup, the top speed is rated near 100 km per hour, and a range of about 700 km is claimed. The torque figure is not publicly verified, but for a 32-ton gross vehicle mass vehicle that horsepower is credible. Some earlier sources suggest a speed up to 105 km per hour. The 6x6 variant is said to use a 450 horsepower engine, retaining many mobility characteristics of the larger version. Drivetrain is full 8x8, with likely independent suspension or advanced heavy-duty leaf coil air systems, though the public sources do not fully disclose the suspension geometry. Because the wheelbase is segmented, the spacing between the first and second axle is about 1,720 mm, between the second and third is 2,250 mm, and third to fourth is 1,720 mm. These spacing choices allow balanced weight distribution and turning characteristics. The 6x6 variant uses different axle spacing, 2,000 mm between the first two and 1,800 mm between the rear two. In off-road mobility, the vehicle's ability to climb steep slopes, surmount obstacles, and ford water has already been described. On-road performance for a heavy armored platform is more constrained, but 600 horsepower gives it moderate flexibility in mixed terrain. The Allison 4700 SP transmission is well known in armored vehicles, offering multiple forward and reverse gears, torque converter capability, and reliability under load. Because of the armored weight, acceleration will be slow compared to wheeled combat vehicles, but acceptable for an APC. The suspension system, while not fully detailed publicly, must be robust, capable of withstanding off-road shocks, recoil forces, and vibration. It likely incorporates heavy dampers, anti-roll bars, and perhaps hydropneumatic modules or adjustable ride height. Tire modules are likely run flat capable, and wheel stations incorporate central tire inflation or pressure control systems to adapt to terrain. Given the combat role, redundancy, maintenance ease, and modular replacement would have been design priorities. Next, we move on to electrical, electronics, sensor, communication and digital systems. From what is known, the Arslon is designed as a modern networked vehicle. It includes a battlefield management system, target identification, fire control, gunshot detection, laser warning detection, and a 360 degrees awareness camera suite. The command and control architecture is digital, likely with redundant buses, encrypted links, and interface to external command centers. In addition, the presence of a 12-pin 24 volts connector from Eric Jaeger GmbH suggests Western standard electronics modularity. The vehicle also sports a light cruise rear convoy guidance cross borrowed from German practice, indicating attention to compatibility with NATO equipment. The wiring harness, sensors, and electronic modules must be shock and EMP hardened, with shielding and redundancy. The fire control chain integrates with optronics, meaning the gunner can engage targets via stabilized sights, aided by laser rangefinders, ballistic computers, and stabilization systems. The turret is remote controlled, so the gunner stays within the safety of the hull while operating the weapon. The situational awareness sensors aid not just in direct fire but in threat detection and early warning. Communications are likely multi-band, VHF, UHF, SATCOM, with secure voice and data links. There would be internal intercom, crew screens and displays, GPS, INS navigation, and mapping systems. Power distribution would include multiple redundant power buses, battery backup systems, possibly auxiliary power units (APU) to run systems when stationary or silent. Given modern vehicle design, there may also be auxiliary systems like infrared lighting, thermal cameras, active protection sensors, and perhaps countermeasures. Now, how does this translate to real-world performance? Let's assess mobility, protection, usability, and trade-offs. In mobility, the Arslon is strong for an APC. The 600 horsepower engine gives it enough reserve power to go over challenging terrain. The ability to ford 1.5 meters of water, overcome obstacles, cross ditches, and climb slopes will let it operate in varied environments. The balanced axle spacing helps maintain traction and reduces stress on frame. Run-flat tires and possible central tire inflation will help sustain operations under fire or puncture. On road, 100 km per hour is a respectable top speed for a heavy APC, giving it highway mobility when convoying or redeploying. The 700 km range is also solid, reducing dependency on refueling in theater. Of course, loaded weight, terrain, and usage will reduce that in practice. Protection is among its strongest assets. The front level 6 ballistic rating suggests troops are well protected against modern threats in head-on engagement. The underbelly blast rating gives decent mine and IED survivability, though higher levels 5 or above would be ideal in heavily mined zones. The option to add extra armor makes it flexible, though adding weight will hit mobility. Weapon systems and remote turret make crew safer by keeping them under armor. The modern fire control suite gives improved accuracy and quicker engagement. However, trade-offs exist. The heavy armor and weight demand high maintenance, robust cooling, and frequent servicing. Fuel consumption will be high. Terrain limitations such as narrow passages, soft ground, and steep slopes may hamper movement despite high power. Also, some missing features in the prototype, such as panoramic commander sight or missile integration, suggest future upgrades are needed to fully compete with top-tier IFVs. One must also consider logistics, availability of spare parts, repairability in the field, modularity, and supply of consumables like tires, electronics, lubricants, etc. The use of some Western standard components is a positive sign for maintainability and interoperability. Let's turn to a summary of strengths, weaknesses, potential use cases, and then pricing or cost estimation. Strengths. High ballistic and blast protection, front level 6, side level 4, blast. Level 4A, 4B. Modern remote turret with digital fire control suite. Good mobility for its class, 100 km per hour, 700 km range, slope, ditch, obstacle negotiating. Modular electronics, NATO compatibility, digital battlefield systems. Flexible troop capacity, rear ramp, 360 degrees awareness sensors. Western component integration aiding maintainability. Weaknesses, challenges. Weight and resulting strain on mechanical systems. Fuel and maintenance demands. Some features e.g. commander panoramic sight, missile armament not yet fully shown. Logistics and supply chain challenges for a new platform. Armor upgrades will reduce mobility further. Use cases. Arslon fits best as a frontline APC, mechanized infantry transporter, convoy escort, urban operations, and peacekeeping missions where both protection and troop carrying are needed. In high-intensity conflict, supplementary platforms like IFVs or tanks would accompany it. Its adaptability and future modular upgrades will make it viable across terrains and mission types. Now, about pricing. Unfortunately, no public sources provide a confirmed price for the Arslon. Because it's a new military vehicle produced for Uzbekistan and likely for export, typical pricing would account for armor, electronics, weapon systems, integration, and support. Comparisons with similar vehicles. Modern 8x8 APCs or IFVs often cost in the range of several million USD per unit, especially with advanced electronics and weapons. Given the ambitious features of Arslon, a ballpark estimate might place it in the range of $2 -5 million per unit, depending on variant, configuration, and volume. But that is speculative. Actual government contracts, local manufacturing, and economies of scale could lower cost. In your video, you could frame price this way. Officially unconfirmed, but given its high-tech systems, armor level, and export ambitions, the Arslon may cost in the multi-million-dollar range, making it comparable to other modern 8x8 APCs or IFVs. What will really matter is cost of maintenance, spare parts, and life cycle support, which often exceed purchase cost over decades. To make this review compelling on camera, here's how you might pace your narration. Start with a dramatic intro, show exterior visuals, overlay on-screen stats, length, crew, armor, then move into a walkaround, camera panning, while narrating exterior and armor details. Then shift into cockpit and troop compartment, or renderings, for the interior and systems discussion. Next, cut to animations or diagrams of drivetrain, axle spacing, suspension, and mobility. Use overlays or infographics for electrical and sensor systems. Then bring all together in performance analysis. Use hypothetical mission scenarios, urban, desert, mountain. Conclude with summary and speculative price discussion. Also, break segments with transitions or overlays so viewer can track exterior, interior, powertrain, electronics, performance, price. Even though your script here is continuous prose, in the editing you should divide these into chapters or visual segments. One more caveat to mention in your video, because the Arslon is newly unveiled and still under field testing, many specs remain provisional, real-world performance and variant configurations will evolve. Always remind viewers this is your best informed estimate based on available data. Here's approximately how the spoken version of your review might flow, in natural, conversational style. Welcome back to Car Operation. Today we explore the 2025 APC Arslon, a next-generation armored personnel carrier that combines heavy protection, digital firepower, and modern mobility into a single package. From its imposing exterior to the guts of its engine bay, we'll uncover what makes this machine tick. Walking around the exterior, you notice the sheer scale. The 8x8 version stretches nearly 9 meters in length, with a width over 3 meters and a towering height. Its front is sloped and armored, designed to deflect projectiles, while side panels, roof hatches, vision blocks, grills, and filters are all integrated in a functional, muscular design. The cooling vents tell you where the engine sits, and subtle lines hint at modular armor attachments. It boasts approach and departure angles of about 27 degrees and 30 degrees, letting it tackle rough terrain. It can scale slopes, cross ditches, climb obstacles and ford water near 1.5 meters. Under the skin, the designers have aimed for versatile cross-country capacity. Protection is one of Arslon's greatest claims. The front is rated STANAG Level 6, meaning it can withstand 30mm APF-SDS rounds at significant distance. The sides and rear offer Level 4 protection. Even its underbelly is shielded to survive blasts equivalent to 10 kilograms of TNT, important for mines and IEDs. Add-on kits can push armor further, though that comes at the price of weight and strain on other systems. Its weapon systems are modern, the turret is remote and unmanned. It carries a 30mm cannon, a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun, and smoke grenade launchers. A full digital fire control suite, threat warning, gunshot detection, target ID, and integration with battlefield management networks give it lethality and situational awareness. In some proposed variants, missile systems or panoramic commander sights may be added down the line. Inside, the Arslon seats 3 crew in the front, driver, commander, and gunner, the latter operating the turret remotely. In the back, 6 to 8 troops ride in armored safety, entering and exiting via a hydraulic rear ramp, which also includes a side hinge door in case ramp deployment fails. A roof hatch and camera suite provide visibility. The layout integrates spall liners, digital wiring, sensor mounts, and modular rails. Comfort and protection must be balanced. Climate control, secure communications, mission displays, and intercoms are all expected, along with data links and interface to command systems. Underneath the hood, published sources propose a 600 horsepower diesel engine coupled to an Allison 4700 SP transmission. With that, the Arslon 8x8 claims a top speed near 100 km per hour and a 700 km range. The 6x6 variant is said to use a 450 horsepower engine, preserving many mobility traits. Axle spacing is carefully set 1,720 mm, 2,250 mm, 1,720 mm to distribute load and manage turning. Despite heavy armor and mass, these numbers are ambitious and credible when compared to contemporary APCs. The suspension is not fully disclosed publicly, but based on requirements we can infer heavy-duty dampers, anti-roll systems, shock absorbers, likely adjustable or hydropneumatic modules, and run-flat capable tires, often with central inflation to adapt grip. The ride must smooth out rough terrain and absorb combat shocks. Electronics are a central pillar in this vehicle. The Arslon is conceived as a digital node on the battlefield. Its onboard systems include full situational awareness camera coverage, target ID, threat warning, communications, battlefield link, fire control, and sensor networks. The presence of a Western 12-pin 24 volts connector and adoption of NATO standard bits like the light cruise underscore a drive toward interoperability. Wiring harnesses would be hardened, with redundancy, shielding, and modularity built in. So what does this all mean in performance? In mobility, Arslon will be among the more capable APCs. It can traverse rugged terrain, negotiate obstacles, cross water, and maintain decent road speeds. The protection levels allow troops to move under fire with confidence. The weapon systems allow accurate engagements from a safe hull. On the flip side, the sheer mass, fuel consumption, and maintenance burden are non-trivial. In high-tempo operations, spares and logistics will be just as important as raw specs. In summary, Arslon positions itself strongly. Its high levels of protection, modern turret and fire control, digital backbone, good mobility, and modularity are ideal traits for modern mechanized forces. Its trade-offs, weight, cost, and support demands, are part of the design challenge for any advanced APC. On the pricing side, there is no confirmed figure. But considering its high-end electronics, armor, weapon systems, and limited production scale, one might reasonably expect a multi-million-dollar unit cost, perhaps in the range of $2 to $5 million, depending on configuration, support contract, scale, and local manufacturing. It's important to note that the true cost of ownership, maintenance, spare parts, training, life cycle support, may exceed the initial purchase price over a decade. As a final note, since the Arslon is still under testing and public revelations are evolving, many specs are tentative. In your review you should make clear to viewers which items are confirmed and which are inferred or speculated. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the 2025 APC Arslon. If you liked this review, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Car Operation, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future armored vehicle and defense tech reviews. Drop a comment below. What variant would you like to see, 8x8 or 6x6? Would you like videos comparing Arslon with other APCs like BTR-82, Patria, Boxer, or Puma? Let me know, and I'll see you next time with more on the cutting edge of military and defense vehicles. That gives you a nearly full-length, detailed script suitable for voiceover. You can insert pauses, B-roll video cues, graphics, animations, spec overlays, and cutaways as you see fit. If you like, I can also break it up into timed video segments, 0-2 minutes, 2 to 5 minute, etc., or produce a shorter, highlight version. Do you want me to also format it as time-coded sections or a teleprompter version?